Hi guys, I hope you're doing amazing. I'm reading you my dreams today. I have been tracking my dreams and writing them down for about 2-3 years now, but I don't write down every single one. So the first couple ones I'm gonna read to you guys were probably from 3 years ago, and the newer ones are from probably a month or two ago. So I'm gonna give a little warning. Some of them are a little not graphic, but I would just have to give trigger warnings because I don't want you to get nightmares. Some of these could be nightmare inducing, and if you guys are going to sleep to this video, try not to have a nightmare. Not in your control, but try. I have a little notebook here. I'm going to be marking them down. I'm going to start off with the not so bad ones, but they're going to get pretty nightmare provoking very fast. So by the third one, I'm reading you 6 today. So we could go down the list. I titled them, and I have you guys are on my laptop right now, so I'm be reading them from my laptop. I was gonna print them out, but my printer wants to be a little biatch, so we're not gonna do that. Let me read through the title. So the first one is called MasterChef. If you don't know what MasterChef is, it's a cooking show. Gordon Ramsay's on there. Gordon Ramsay is, my god, I watch everything from him. I don't know what it is, but I had a dream that I was on MasterChef, and to me that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare to me. The second one, I titled it the acid dream. So I was gonna title it the drug dream because it felt like I was tripping out. Never have tripped out before, but if I were to trip out, I think that's what it would feel like. Not a nightmare dream, more of weird feeling during the dream and when I woke up. The third one is titled Scary Dream. It's super fast, but it left an impact on me when I woke up, and that's where it starts to get a little what are you dreaming about? Why is this going through your head, and why is this in your head? The fourth one is titled Airbnb. Doesn't sound bad. Wait until I get into it. That dream was super. All of these dreams are super. The fifth one is called the G-Ma Robbery. My grandma set us up in my dream. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the last one is called Kidnap in Pakistan. I don't even know anything about Pakistan. In my dream, at first I thought I was in Russia, and then I was actually in Pakistan. How ironic, those two places. But I put that one for last because it's a little sensitive, especially what's going on right now. And just want to read that to you guys so you know what you are in for. Let's start with the first dream, the MasterChef dream. Let me find it right here. Oh, I said I was on Hell's Kitchen. Oh, it was Hell's Kitchen. I had a different dream. I was on MasterChef. I'll say that to you guys real quick. So I was on MasterChef Canada, and if you guys ever watch MasterChef Canada, the demon chef, he be on it. Probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but he be on it. And in my dream, I had a partner that had to leave last minute, and I only had 4 minutes left, and I had to make fried chicken, and the chicken was super thick, and I was just breading it, and I saw I had 3 minutes left, and I put it in the fryer, and I started crying because I was like, it's not gonna be ready on time. I'm going to get my ass handed to me. And it literally, in my dream, my heart was beating and I had anxiety, and I woke up with that same feeling. The way your mind works is awesome. I'd find it awesome. Obviously, you don't want to wake up with anxiety, but I think it's super cool. So I woke up with anxiety and my heart was pumping, and I calmed myself down because I'm like, oh my god, it was just, that dream was crazy. So this one was, I was on Hell's Kitchen by Gordon Ramsay. If you don't know, I think it's interesting. I love cooking shows. So let's start. So it says, so I had a dream last night that I was on Hell's Kitchen and I was cooking for Gordon Ramsay. Excuse me. I was super nervous for him to taste. I need to use this so I can follow along. For him to taste it and judge it and say, this tastes like shit, or spit it out in front of me. It would have hurt my ego. But I was making lamb, and the lamb bones burnt off, so it was just meat. And as I started mixing it, it started looking like turkey bacon. So out of nowhere, I get this pork chop and I wrap the lamb around it like bacon. I made a side too, like I topped it with an egg and had like a little dessert on the side. Someone helped me with the egg idea, I forgot who. But when I was done, I placed it on chef's desk and walked out and acted like I had to use the bathroom. I didn't want to see his reaction in front of everyone, but while I was washing my hands, I said, who cares? This is going to help me grow and get better. I have to face this fear. What if he says it actually tastes good? And I put that in, I bolded that when I wrote it down, mainly because I've been noticing that I avoid certain things and I want to face that. So that's something I've been doing ever since this dream. I've been, every time I'm like, I'm scared to do this, I'm nervous to do this, instead of thinking like what can go wrong, like what if this happens, like think about what if everything goes right, what if everything turns out so much better than you expect it, because what you're thinking isn't real. Your thoughts only become, I just broke my pen. Anyways, your thoughts only become real if you let them, and that's what I believe. And that's where it all started, because instead of thinking like, oh, what if he said it tastes like shit, he throws it at me, like what if he said it tastes good, you know? So from there I said, and I walked to the judging room and he wasn't even judging in front of everyone. So that relieved me, because in my dream I was scared that I was going to get my ass handed to me by so many people. Let me reread that. I walked to the judging room and he wasn't even judging in front of everyone. So that relieved me and showed me that anxiety is never what you think. Anxiety is never what you think. Your thoughts will show you a scenario and you have to realize this isn't even real. This is as fake as it gets. I mean, it's crazy. And when you let your mind run you and run your emotions, that's how you get in a hole and you feel like you can't come out of it. But you got to start one thing at a time, and that just starts by realizing these thoughts that I'm having are not real. They're not real. That's it. And after that, when I thought to myself, what if he said it tastes good, that gave me courage and made the rejection less worse. Because my dish had a red cross, which means he didn't like it, but it didn't hurt that bad because I went into it with courage. I don't even remember that dream being so like to the heart, but it is so true. That was a beautiful dream. I thought it was gonna be worse. That was a beautiful dream. I think it's awesome. It just shows me that I need to enjoy the challenges, and that is something that I've been doing recently, is really enjoying the challenges. I'm looking forward to the obstacles, because because they show you what you don't know and what will help you grow. In the challenges, you learn so much about yourself, about other people. You just learn, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. So now on to the second dream that I titled the acid dream, and that was one of the first dreams I've ever written down. I wrote it down like 3 years ago. This dream was super intense. Let me read it to you. The dream seemed like I was on a drug trip or something, but it was really intense. It was like a dream within a dream. At first, I was watching my niece, and I guess we were in my boyfriend's mom's room. Oh, you see my cat? Hello, my son. Oh my god, he's coming. Let's continue. Like, at first, I was watching my niece, and I guess we were in my boyfriend's mom's room. So they come home, and his mom just closed the curtains. And at that point, I knew I was dreaming, and I tried to wake myself up, but that just brought me to some weird place. So there's a dream I'm not going to read, but I explained how I wake myself up from dreams. I might sound crazy, but I used to be super good at it, and recently I haven't had to do it. I don't know where I learned it from, but it was like blink in your dream and you'll wake up. And it worked. And in this dream, I tried to do that. I tried to wake myself up, but it brought me to another dream. And they call it lucid dreaming. Every other dream after that was a lucid dream. So I was super aware that I was dreaming, or I would become aware that I was dreaming. I've lost most of that ability. So where was I? Okay, so I tried to wake myself up, and that just brought me to some weird place. It was kind of like a school. It was like some Harry Potter type shit. I was there for one thing, but I forgot. Then I ended up in a cafeteria, and it was super dark. Like, the whole building was black. The shit was full of kids. There's a lot of swears in this. I'm sorry, YouTube. There was a teacher that was telling me to get off my phone, but I was texting my boyfriend telling him what's happening because I thought I was awake. Then some weird shit happened. My boyfriend sent me a video of him smoking in the house, and I knew that was bullshit. I swear so much back then, because he never does that, especially when his mom's home. So I started texting him, and the letters looked unrecognizable, like I was in some, like it was in some other language. Then the teachers or whatever told me to go to the black table, and that's when I ended up walking out of the room, out of the building, and that's when shit got really weird. Like, I thought I was actually awake, so it felt even weirder. I ended up turning left, and I was in this nice city, but as I kept walking, I took another turn, and there was a hole that you have to jump over in order to get to the other side. But in the hole, there was a cyclops or some weird looking shit. So I ended up jumping and almost fell in. When I made it to the other side, for some reason I was running and I jumped over a ledge that brought me to some other city. But this city was kind of pretty. Bars. It was like all clear water. It reminded me of France. Anyways, the fall was so long, I made sure I fell in the water and not on concrete. I didn't know where I was at all, so I was thinking about using Google Maps. That's when I realized there was no way of my boyfriend getting to me because the roads of this place were just water. So I started panicking, obviously, not knowing how I'm going to get home, and that's when I realized I was dreaming and woke myself up by blinking. There was a lot to unpack in that dream. I mean, imagine waking up from that, but when you wake up after like lucid dreaming, or at least me, it doesn't feel as bad because in the dream you know you're dreaming and you wake up and you're just like, oh right, well that was odd. But like with the dreams, the like, last two dreams, that's when I wasn't like realizing I was dreaming, so it just felt super real. And that dream was like, alright, let's move on to the next dream. So this is dream number 3, and it's called the scary dream. So it's super fast, so it's kind of like a summary, and I'll see if I remember any parts of it. It says, someone came up to me with the missing persons poster and asked if I saw their sister. Then when I tried running out the forest, it was everlasting, and the bushes turned into faces when I was running down the spiral hill. This dream was creepy. So like I said, I was in this place that I usually hike in, and someone came up to me with a poster of their missing sister, and they're like, have you seen her? And I was like, no, I haven't. They walked away, and I started walking, and it started getting darker. It was super creepy, so I started running, and then the forest turned into like a spiral hill, and it never stopped. And the faster I ran, the bushes turned into faces. It was creepy. Like, it turned into like these like gray faces. Oh, thinking about it, just like, oh my god, look at my eye. So that's the start of the next couple of dreams. The next one is crazy, so I'm kind of excited to read this one. It's called Airbnb. So let's go to it. Okay, this is a kidnapping dream, but I got kidnapped and my family got kidnapped. So let's start. It says, this was a crazy kidnapping dream. So me and my mom and I think my boyfriend found a beautiful Airbnb that was super cheap. It was like a mansion. So we all stood in the same room for some reason while we were sleeping, and there was some big fat girl that just came walking through the room. Then she walked back out. I just want to say that all of these dreams I wrote like right after I woke up, or probably like 10 minutes after I woke up. I just want to get that out there. I had no filter. No one else is supposed to be in this house. Now, I don't really remember what happened, but I think some guy came in with a gun and told us we can't leave or else he'll kill us. We had our phones but no reception, and I just didn't know what to do. I was freaking out. I just remembered staring out the window. It was a rainy night and I didn't know how to leave. I woke up from this dream and then fell asleep again, and that guy was threatening to kill us, so the dream continued after I went back to bed. Which happens sometimes, which is like, it's pretty cool. Sometimes I do want a dream to continue. And the guy was threatening to kill us, but the room door was locked. I jumped out the window and started running. I didn't know where I was going. There was a bunch of other houses around us, but they were all empty. It looked like they were Airbnbs too. So I kept running and taking left and right turns, and I noticed there was a white car following me, a ugly Toyota, I think. I just kept running and I saw some woods. My plan was to hide in there, but my dream glitched out and I ended up back in the house. I believe they killed my boyfriend, so it was only me and my mom in the room. I told my mom what happened and I told her about the woods I saw. So I went on Apple Maps and found out if you keep going straight through the woods, you end up in the city of blank. We were in some rich community called blank or something. These are places I live by, so I'm not gonna name those. So I told her we have to get out of here. I made a paper map of where to go and I hid both my phone and the map under the bed near the window. Just in time because the guys came through the door again threatening us. I don't remember what they said, but right after they left, we saw a van driving down the street through the window. They stopped outside the house and had a sound thing where they could hear through the house. I told my mom about the people, but she didn't believe they were here to save us. But then the guy made eye contact with me and smiled. He was here to save us. They started knocking on the house door saying, I know you have people kidnapped. Police are on their way. That's when I heard footsteps running up towards our room and I knew they were going to kill us before the cops could get here. So I proceeded to tell my mom to jump out this window with me because I know where to go. So we jumped out the window and the people who were in the house already killed some cops. One girl tried to take me and my mom back, chasing us down the street, but we were too fast and she just disappeared. Me and my mom went through the woods to blank and stood the night in some bathroom. That's where my dream ended. And that dream was intense. I mean, you saw how much detail I went in for that. Like, rereading my dreams again, I don't really go back and read them because I don't really make the time for it. I have other important things to do. But this was a special occasion because I think they're super interesting how your mind works, and your mind does take past experiences. I never experienced anything like this though, let me tell you that. So now we're on dream number 5, the grandma robbery. Who would you ever think your grandma would set you up for something? My grandma was a gangster in this dream. So I was at my grandma's house having a get together and all my family was there. Like blank and all my siblings. So I was trying to get my boyfriend to pick me up, but he was being so fucking stubborn. So I said whatever and I went to go shower. For some reason I was helping my sister and my brother shower too. But then when I got out the bathroom, everyone was calling me downstairs because there was a car outside and they think it's my boyfriend. So I'm staring outside and I realize there's 3 people, not one. And I tell them it's not my boyfriend. One of them grabs a gun and the other have 2 big ass pipes and my family just starts screaming and I tell them I'm gonna call the cops, but I forgot that my fucking grandma's house doesn't have reception, so the call doesn't go through. And I tell the kids to stay in the room and duck under the stuff just in case the people start shooting the house. I hid in the bathroom and those 3 people busted in the house and all I hear is gunshots. And one of them come upstairs and knocked on the bathroom door that I'm in and I didn't say anything, but he didn't come in. Then I hear my grandma tell the shooter to get shower because she's annoying. Shower is a cover-up name for my cousin. Her name rhymes with shower. So my grandma told the shooter to go get my cousin because she's annoying. So my grandma has part in this. Then I start to hear the kids screaming, which was terrifying. I just felt that feeling that I felt in my dream. I realized that there was a window in the bathroom and I jumped out of it and started running, screaming for help. But everywhere I go, it's like they don't even see me and I'm a ghost or something. Everyone I talk to, they can't see me or hear me. And then one car sees me and we drive past the house and that car with the 3 people were gone and that was it. Yeah, so I should probably give a warning before I read that because I should give myself a warning. I completely forgot how that dream made me feel. Whew. I remember in the dream when I was running down the street, I mean, there was people outside and I was trying to talk to them and scream for them and they didn't see me. And I didn't write this part down, but when I was running in the street and a car literally went through me, like I was a ghost. Like I was just nothing. And it's such a terrible feeling when you're trying to help people that are in a situation like that or help your family and then like no one could see you. Like that is hell. From here is one of the, I think this dream might be a little worse than the next one. I'm not sure, but this one is also like, I'll give you a warning because I was kidnapped in this dream. Let's read it. So this one's titled Kidnap in Pakistan. So this one, there was 2 dreams. I'm not going to read the first one because it has a lot of my family's names in it. And it's really not, like, it's nothing crazy. But from that dream, my dream switched to this one. Now for the craziest dream I've had in a long time. It was crazy. So from what I remember, I was kidnapped with Coda, which is my cat, and put into this concentration camp place. The people in there were Russian, but we were in Pakistan. I remember walking around the place and everyone got called to this room, and there was this girl talking about something. Then everyone left, and I think she said something about Coda and tried to hurt him. The next thing I remember is I killed her. There was a lot, I don't mean to laugh, but it's like, when I read this, it's like, what the hell? The next thing I remember is I killed her. There was a lot that happened between that, but I don't remember. Anyways, after I killed her, I realized I killed someone that was high up in this camp. So like someone like one of the authorities. And I had to escape. I don't know how, but I did get onto these dark streets and started running till I got to a neighborhood. I put this plastic bag on the floor and I put Coda in it, but he got out and started walking around. I was looking for people who were awake so I could get somewhere to hide. There was this super nice lady with a cigarette, and she said she could help me. So I asked her if she could grab Coda real quick, and I turned around to make a phone call. Then once I turned around, she snatched me up. She was working with the camp. I was back at the camp again, and I don't remember what happened within this time, but I escaped again, and this time I ran way further into the dark without my Coda. These roads were dark, and I got to this super nice mansion. So in this dream, I ran past the neighborhood that I went in the first time, where that girl brought me back to the camp. I ran past that, and I just kept running and running and running until I got to a mansion. I ran up to the mansion and banged on the door, and this family answered. They let me in, and I told them my situation, and they were super scared for me, and I was scared that someone was going to find me, so they put me in the center of the mansion in this room. I still had my phone, but since I didn't have a SIM card, I couldn't call out to anyone in the US because I was in Pakistan. So I downloaded an app. It was like Telegram. And for context, I think I was gone for like 3 days to a week. I don't remember. So the person I called was my boyfriend. And he answered, but he didn't believe anything I was saying. I told him I was kidnapped, and he was like, yeah, sure, you're probably cheating, blah, blah, blah. And I felt hopeless because of what I just went through, and he just dismissed it like that. Let me tell you, in that part of the dream, I once again felt hopeless. The feeling of hopelessness is so terrible. But the thing is, like, in real life, there's always hope. That's the thing. There's always something. There's always a way to work it out. But in my dream, it's like I couldn't seem to figure out a way to make anything work. I don't believe that in real life, by the way. I believe everything happens for a reason, and what's meant to be will be. So in my dream, it's like I have a whole different mindset. Anyways, continuing. I started crying, and I hung up, and I tried calling my dad, but to no avail. Then I had that idea of, what if I try calling 911 through Telegram? But once I tried, I woke up. Then I fell back asleep, and the dream continued again. I don't know if this happened before or after I woke up, but I ended up getting in contact with the US police, and they told us I had to keep moving, just in case the people from the camp or the Pakistan government were looking for me. So the Pakistan government were in on this, and I remember, I didn't write it down, but in the dream, I was going to tell the family, let's call the police out here. They didn't think it was a good idea, and it clicked for me. No, it's probably not a good idea, because there's a concentration camp here. So why would, no, the government here is not going to save me. So I said I felt scared to keep moving, but I knew that was the safest thing. I secretly met the US police on this bridge, and I remember Pakistan police were watching us from down below. So the Pakistan police were following me while I was making my way to the bridge. They were following me while I was going to the bridge, and I remember once I held the US police officer's arm, and I don't know what I'm talking about, a bridge, because I'm pretty sure Pakistan, there's no bridge from Pakistan to the US. Anyways, I said the Pakistan police were watching us. They took me to the US, and I met with my dad. And when I met with my dad, we got in the car, and I was just telling him everything that happened. Yeah, that dream, because I never had a dream like that. Like, I had crazy dreams from what I read you guys. Some of them, there's a lot more, but some of them are personal and way more graphic. And I don't wanna go into that. You know, that was all of my dreams. I mean, honestly, that was fun. I think that was super fun. If you guys have any dreams that you want to share, I mean, definitely let me know. I am super interested to hear what you guys dream about. The brain is it's so interesting. So I would love to hear how your brain works in your dreams. Definitely put it down in the comments below. I would love to communicate with you guys. And I know my YouTube channel is small and I'm trying to grow it now because I realize like I like doing this because I get to be myself and do what I want when I want to. I think it's amazing. So I'm just trying to grow this back up again. I really want to connect with you guys, which is why I thought this was a super good idea. To like let you guys come in and my brain a little bit. That's only like one segment into my brain because my brain is super complex. Everyone's is, but like mine's is just like it goes deep. She goes deep. Look at this head. She go deep. If you like the video, I don't like being one of these, but like if you liked it, like and subscribe. You know, no pressure. I mean, obviously I don't want no fake subscribers. Like if you really don't enjoy my videos, please do not subscribe, please do not like. I don't want none of that fake-ish over here. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Try your best not to get nightmares. Watch like a really nice video after this. And goodbye from me and my cats. Good night.